Hey Case, do you know what HPD stands for?
Honda Performance Development.
Yeah, who'd have thunk that they'd make a performance Honda CR-V, and here's the fun part, hybrid. Because in this video, we're gonna go take, well, not this one, but the one that's over there for a ride. But first, we need to get a word from our sponsors, Case.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
So Case is behind the camera, and together we're gonna review this Honda CR-V hybrid. Now Case, what is unique about this? I'm pointing that way to the big red machines that are over there.
Yeah, there's something different about the new CR-V hybrid versus the old. This one is actually rated to tow, although it's not rated to tow a ton.
No, it's rated to tow a Honda 250F and a 110F, and what's a little tiny guy over there?
It's a little 50, so it can tow 1,000 pounds, so half a ton. It's not a massive amount of tow rating, but it's enough to pull a couple little things.
You know, there's that saying, whenever we start rolling, a helicopter comes by, and you guys don't believe us, just look up there, a helicopter came by.
Every single time.
In the middle of nowhere, well, an hour outside of Santa Barbara, California. Must be some rich dude getting that winery, huh?
Yeah, exactly,
or
on
rich
his
dude,
way.
Rich dude Ed. So we were debating, you think this is 1,000 pounds? It probably is, right?
This trailer, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because I bet the trailer itself is not heavy at all, and then each one of these bikes, even the bigger of the three, the 250, that wouldn't be much over 200 pounds, if that. So yeah, these are all pretty light bikes, light trailer.
And let's be honest, I think most people are going to use that hitch to put a bike on, not to tow anything with, you know?
Yeah, again, I mean, even the Honda PR folks said if somebody is looking to tow more than 1,000 pounds, they're probably not looking at a CR-V.
So this is the 6th generation Case. The first one came out, get this, in 1997. Remember that one? It had like 120 horsepower, had a little table, picnic table in the back.
Yeah, bare bones.
And what they did to it was they make it a little bit more angular, a little bit more rugged. You agree? Yeah,
this new generation is a lot blockier than the old one. It looks just less roly-poly. It looks more confident. A big step up in terms of design.
Yeah, and actually a little step down in terms of fuel economy, which is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, so the old hybrid got 38 miles per gallon combined, and this new one in all-wheel drive form gets 37.
But there is a front-wheel drive one which gets 40, yeah. Now HPD seems strange, but you get kind of more cladding, right? Which is, you know, a little bit more rugged, I guess.
That looks a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and this one has, I guess, the optional Honda roof rack with the optional Honda gear.
Some Honda bags.
Yeah, this is very Honda-ish.
Man, Honda makes everything, don't they?
They sure do. And I like this color. I think it's called, gosh, I forgot. It's like
crystal.
No, it's Canyon, River Canyon Blue Metallic.
Yeah, something
like that.
Especially with these gold accents on this little decal, it's a really good color.
Yeah, it is a really good color. And let's head over to the one that we have that we're going to be driving. In terms of pricing, Case, where does it start at, and what's missing from the lineup this year?
Yeah, so they don't have the LX, which used to be the base model. No longer are they offering the LX, which was under $30,000. Now, the new CR-V starts at $31,110, and if you want a hybrid, that's going to come in no less than $32,450. But right now, we're in a very spec'd out Sport Touring, and the Sport Touring starts at $38,600.
Now we're going to drive by that red one, and the red one, of course, is not the hybrid. That is the 1.5 liter turbo, which doesn't get as good fuel economy, does it?
No, that's right around 29 miles per gallon combined, and it's also less powerful. So the 1.5 liter turbo it manages to put out 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Here on the hybrid, we're managing 204 horsepower, so a little bit more power, but a lot more torque, 247 pound-feet of torque, which is 3 more horsepower and 15 more pound-feet of torque than the old CR-V hybrid.
Now, dude, check this out. Look at that. I've got a gear selector. The old one had this push button.
Yeah.
And now we've got a rear gear selector, and it's got different modes. So it's got, of course, the sport mode. I'll kind of zip through there. It's got the normal mode, it's got the eco mode, and that's brand new. It's got a snow mode for 2023.
Yeah, and we love having a snow mode because we're based in Colorado and we get snow.
All right, so I was talking to the Honda folk and I asked them how big the battery is, and they said it's pretty small. So
yeah.
You're not going to be driving this thing in all EV mode, but I got it in sport mode, and I'm going I'm gonna make a right turn here. I'm gonna accelerate to 60, and let's see if you guys can tell
Gotta strap in.
how long this is. Yeah, so you time this, okay? You ready? Here we go. This is in sport mode. Uphill a little bit.
I'm not struggling to hold the camera forward.
And there's 60. my butt meter tells me that was like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a grand accelerating car, but it's torquey enough to get up to speed just fine. You're not going to be falling behind traffic.
And the other thing, if you can hear it, is the thing that, of course, makes this a little bit less exciting to drive, and that is, where are the shifts, Case?
Yeah, you can tell it's a CVT pretty easily, even though it does have paddles here on the hybrid.
Yeah, but these paddles don't actually change gears. In fact, they have nothing to do with the transmission.
Yeah, it's just for regen.
Yeah, basically there's a B here, so you could get higher regen by putting into B mode, and then if you want, you can also do the same thing by upping and downing the amount of power you're putting back in the battery. Now I'm going to guess this battery is about 1 to 1.5 kilowatt hours, so it's pretty tiny. It's not.
Yeah.
It's nothing that like a plug-in hybrid would use. It's basically meant for increased fuel economy, not for anything else.
Yeah, it can push itself along under all-electric power for just a little bit, but yeah, you're not going to be driving around on all-electric for very long.
All right, we got in sport mode. Let's see how this thing does.
Yeah,
Oof.
how does it drive? How does the steering and everything feel?
It's not bad. For a family hauler, it's a little wallowy, but these roads are pretty bad, and that's not a bad thing because it's not like slamming into the bump stops, right?
Yeah, I gotta say the most impressive thing about riding in this is the ride quality. It's very comfortable suspension, like you said, and you can see it even through the camera. These are not nice roads,
No,
but
they're not
pretty
nice
comfortable.
roads. And if you want a comparison to the old one plus the turbo, we did a walk around, and that's over at alltfl.com, so you can see how they compare. Now, what do you think of the interior?
Oh man, this has got to be the biggest step forward for the CR-V, period, is this dash layout, the materials used, it looks and feels so much more premium than the previous generation, which was a very functional interior, but not exciting to look at. This is actually a nice interior to interact with.
I agree. I love this, like air conditioning, honeycomb vent. It's really cool. Hey, let's do a turning radius test. So this is a 2-lane road. I've got a little bit of a
pull-off there.
Pull-off
yeah.
here. There's a motorcycle coming. So I'm going to give it full lock to lock and see if I can actually make a turn on
Turn around.
Yeah, let me make sure there's nobody behind us, nobody in front of us. And the question is, can we turn around without hitting the Honda sign? And the answer
does not look like it.
no. We're going to hit that broad on, dude.
Yeah, so that is something about the new CR-V. It is bigger than it used to be. Not significantly so, just a couple inches longer and about half an inch wider, which does get you some extra interior space, a little bit more cargo volume, a little bit more leg room in the rear, but yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah, and we still have a pretty old school sunroof, right? Which I don't mind.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah, it's small, but that's okay. I don't mind those. These things steal a lot of headroom, and as a guy with a tall torso and short legs, I always struggle with headroom. So it's nice to have a smaller sunroof.
Yeah.
That doesn't steal headroom. We also have a USB and a USB-C port. We have a phone charge here. Of course, this is the top of the line. We have hill descent control.
Oh man. Yeah, it's not a dedicated off-roader, but you do get a few different nice modes to have. And then this center screen here is a 9-inch screen, so this is the bigger screen that you can get in the car. And if you get this bigger screen, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. If you get the smaller 7-inch screen, you get those same things but wired.
Apparently, we're not on a road.
Oh yeah, well, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere in wine country.
Yes, exactly. Now we do have a heated steering wheel, which is a nice option.
That's an interesting placement for the heated steer.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes they hide
button.
it behind the steering wheel, and I always forget about it. Here, it's nice because it's right in your line of sight.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got your lane keep, your ADAS, which isn't level 2 autonomy, but nevertheless, it's here. So if you want to use proximity distance control for cruise control plus lane keep, it's on the steering wheel. I like Honda because they've gone back to real buttons that actually do real things.
Even for the climate.
I like a real volume knob. How cool is that? I still wish you had a tuning knob, but maybe next generation.
Maybe next generation they'll go back to the old school tuning knob.
Now, Nissan with the Rogue, right, competes against this, and so does the RAV4. I mean, this is the most popular segment in the entire world right now. People love these kind of mid-size crossovers. Honda says that this has been their most popular car for the last 5 years.
Yeah, since 2017.
Yeah, I think Toyota outsells them by, but there's an argument there because Toyota says that they also sell RAV4s into fleet. Honda's very proud of the fact that they don't sell these to rent-a-car companies.
Right.
So a little bit of an argument, but the seats are supposedly redesigned to be more comfortable. What do you think?
Yeah, these seats are very comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that's really stood out to me, which I think is a good thing. I'm not noticing the seat, so I think they're doing their job of keeping me comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. In general, it's just one of those kind of right-sized cars, right? It's for young families, so if you have kids, you can throw them in the back. We'll pull over here and we'll show you how much room is behind the second row, and that amount is pretty substantial.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a whole lot more functionally from a car than what this gets you. It gets you good fuel economy considering its size and plenty enough space to carry just about anyone and anything that you might want to carry, as we'll demonstrate with Roman, because Roman is not a small guy. He's, what, you're 6'2"?
I'm 6'2", yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", and I'm a svelte, I'm going to say 200 pounds. Yeah, exactly. So cool thing is these seats recline.
Yeah,
so
and you've got them reclined right now.
You can get super comfy, but I sit dead upright. So let me move them up here. Hold on. So yeah, put them maybe there.
They
looks
recline
comfortable.
far.
They do. So yeah, look, plenty of headroom. It's scalloped back here. Plenty of leg room, and I don't get why Honda does this, but there's a little bit of a pocket.
One map pocket.
And no pocket there. 2 USB-C ports. You've got your vents, which is really nice. Yeah. It's just it's fine. It's what you'd expect out of this. And let's go in the way back. Let's check that out.
Yeah, we've got our camera bags back here, but we're swimming in extra space.
Yeah.
So it's 36.3 cubic feet of space with the seats up, and then 75.5 if you fold them down.
Now, you did notice something odd about the exhaust case. Why don't you show them?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. This being the higher trim level and being the not base powertrain, because it's a hybrid, you get these fancy cutouts that accent the exhaust, and it's real on this side, but it's fake on this side. The funny thing is, though, if you get one of the turbo models like you get over there, which is the base powertrain, it actually has a legitimate dual exhaust, but they're hidden under the bumper. So the one that highlights 2 exhaust outlets only has 1 exhaust outlet.
Do you think the HPD had a bigger one of these rear spoilers? Or is it the same, and the HPD it was just all black?
I think it was just all black. I
yeah.
think
I think
that
you're
was
right,
the main difference from what I could tell.
Yeah, I mean, we've got this kind of midnight, edition with the blacked out wheels, not a lot of chrome, even blacked out accents around the headlights, blacked out grille, and just a little bit of chrome. I think it's a handsome look. I mean, it's certainly much more upright than the previous model. It's less, like you said, roly-poly. And Honda's very proud that they've moved those A-pillars farther out, so it gives you a much more expansive view out the.
Yeah, they pushed these pillars back as well, so it gives you basically a longer hood. Overall, like you said, sharp car. I also like on the hybrid, these accents on the bottom of the front bumper is a pretty good look.
So the turbo, speaking of which, there goes. The turbo went on sale in September, and this is going on sale at your local dealerships right now. Honda says that they sell every one that they build, and they build them here in America. Pricing starts now, what you said, $32,000?
Yeah, for the hybrid, it's $32,450.
Because they got rid of the LX, so you start with the EX now, and then you get up to 40,000-ish, or more, depending on
how many options you want to throw
and
at
how much
it.
the dealer adds on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be available now or very soon at your local Honda dealership. And in general, I think they've done exactly what they needed to do to take to take their best-selling car and make it more modern, make it more relevant, and move it to the next generation before electrification comes along. Honda's been kind of slow with that. They've got a partnership with GM where they will be building electric cars. But for all of you who love the CR-V, and let's face it, there's not a lot of people out there who haven't either owned one or been in one, right?
Yeah.
Over the last, 97, is that 30 years or close to 25 years?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. This is the one you'll be seeing at the local schoolyard coming
very soon. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Kase. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, check out alltfl.com for more news, views, and of course, real-world Honda CR-V reviews. Ciao.